All right, look. So I made a video about how meditation can speed up your timeline because in meditation, right, you may learn certain lessons that you would have normally learned inside the outside world. But because you learn it inside meditation, it happens way faster and you waste less time actually learning it inside the outside world. So with that being said, meditation isn't even for speeding up your timeline. However, as you practice meditation, right, seriously, you feel me? You already tend to transcend and ascend your timeline because the lessons associated with your timeline are only there because you're not in tune with the source. You feel me? If you get in tune with the source, right, there's no more lessons to learn. I'm not saying that you won't do shit. You feel me? However, there will be no more lessons to learn. You'll just be in tune with the source and then you'll act off of the source. And the thing is, you can still do things in a faster amount of time while being in tune with the source by also meditating while being in tune with the source. You feel me? But I don't really got to explain that because when you get in tune with the source, there's no more instruction that you need because you just get the impulses to do certain shit. You'll get the impulse to meditate. You'll get the impulse to fucking do this or do that and something like that. You feel me? And it's not even really an impulse because now it's like, listen, all I'm saying is when you get in tune with the source, shit just flows. That's my whole point. Shit flows when you're in tune with the source. Now, how do you actually use meditation to speed up your timeline? So, meditation is used to focus and concentrate the mind. You feel me? When you're able to do this shit, right? You can concentrate the mind at will and then literally focus on nothing. You can focus on yourself, focus on the source, which is nothing. You feel me? Now, with that being said, when you focus on nothing, right? When you first start doing it, things will pop up because the way your mind works is that when you're relaxed, that's when it wants you to process things, which is why at nighttime you have dreams and process information. You feel me? Because at nighttime you're more relaxed, therefore your mind's like, okay, he can process that shit right now. Same way that like if you're just chilling, right? When you start relaxing, when you start getting relaxed and shit like that, all this shit, like all this stress may hit you about shit that you have to do. Because now that you're relaxed, your mind's like, okay, he's relaxed. Now let's remind him about this stressful shit because now he's in a more calm state to actually deal with that shit. You feel me? So that's how your mind works. And I'm telling you that because when you try to meditate, right, the goal is to eventually focus on nothing. Now, while trying to focus on nothing, shit will pop up. You may even get to nothing to the point of focusing on nothing. And then this shit starts to finally pop up. You feel me? Normally, when you focus on nothing and stuff like that and shit starts popping up, it will likely be shit that you haven't dealt with for a while. Now, it may just be some other shit that's not even that deep, but it could be some deep shit also. My whole entire point is, though, as you try to focus on nothing, thoughts and emotions will come. You feel me? Now, normally, right, if you're not meditating, a thought and emotion may come and you'll act off that shit. You'll have a situation happen, which leads to an experience that you may learn from. However, in meditation, when that thought and emotion comes, instead of acting off of it, you let that shit pass. Now, this makes a huge fucking difference. So like I said, one simple thought and emotion can make you act, and then you're having an experience for a fucking day, a week, a month, or like for years or something like that. You feel me? When you let that thought and emotion pass, though, it becomes so powerful because now it goes to your unconscious level of awareness. When this happens, it gets processed. So that means that if that thought and emotion relates to an experience, you will literally experience that on unconscious levels several different times. So in real life, you can only experience that shit once, you feel me? Or in one type of way, you feel me? On your unconscious level of awareness, you can experience that shit 1,000 different times in 1,000 different ways, giving you 1,000 different perspectives, giving you 1,000 different perspectives and 1,000 different lessons, you feel me? 1,000 different ways of interpreting that shit, like literally. So when the next thoughts and emotions pop up and stuff like that, right, that are associated with that situation, one, it'll be more fucking mature and processed, because now since you process that shit 1,000 fucking times, the next thought in relation to the first thought, you feel me, is gonna it'll just make more sense. Like if this thought and emotion, right, was gonna be a situation that helped you answer a question, you feel me? Once you let this shit pass and it gets processed, the next thought and emotion will likely answer the question. You feel me? However, if you acted off that shit, you would have had to experience something and then get the answer to your question. However, because you just let this shit pass, it got processed on an unconscious level, and then you got the answer without even really doing shit. You feel me? And then as more thoughts and emotions come up and pass, you feel me? You let dumb shits get processed, all that other shit, and then you learn from that shit. So pretty much, what I'm saying is that instead of the shit popping up and you act off it, right? You feel me? The shit pops up. The shit pops up. You let it pass. It goes to your unconscious. Your unconscious is like, okay, we can experience that shit like this, and like that. And it'll pretty much process that shit. You feel me? It'll mix it up and pretty much view it from like 1,000 different perspectives. It will experience it 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times, and all that shit. And then you'll understand the lesson associated with that thought and emotion instead of you just acting off that shit. So that's how meditation can speed up your timeline. Don't even try to speed up your timeline. Just simply try to focus on nothing. And then when thoughts and emotions pop up, let them shits pass. You feel me? Even if you want to react, because some thoughts and emotions you're gonna want to react. But you, like for example, a thought and emotion that pops up may make you have a question. You feel me? But if you just let this shit pass, you feel me? It will get processed and you'll get the answer to your question. However, if you start focusing on that shit, right? And then try to answer that shit yourself, you can't process it on the unconscious level. It'll be harder to process. Now you have to actually consciously think and consciously imagine shit and stuff like that. Now you have to force a visualization and everything like that. You feel me? Instead, if you just let this shit pass, your unconscious will do that shit for you. You feel me? With no problem. When you focus on the thought, though, now you're forced to consciously make the visualization. Now you have to consciously have other thoughts and emotions and shit like that. Just let this shit pass and let your unconscious do the shit for you. You feel me? It'll process the shit for you, and you'll get the answer like that. I want to say don't do this. You feel me? But try to let them shits pass. Some thoughts will make you be like, holy shit. You will react to them shits. You may have images associated with the thought. You may have other thoughts associated with the thought. You may even want to stop meditating and then act off the thought. You feel me? But just try to let this shit pass, because your unconscious can solve all the problems for you. Once you focus on that shit and try to solve that shit for yourself, it takes way longer, because you either got to act on the outside world or you got to be inside your mind consciously doing shit. You feel me? You don't want to do that shit. Just let the shit pass. It'll get solved on its own. More shit will pop up. Let that shit pass. It'll get solved on its own. You don't got to act. You don't got to do all that thinking. You don't got to do all that visualizing. Just let the shit pass. You feel me? And then that will literally make you ascend your timeline. You feel me? Because you'll eventually get in tune with the source. You'll learn all your lessons. You'll just act off the source. Yeah. All right. And then, yeah, that's it. Peace. Damn.